Welcome to the Deep Dive. This is where we take your sources and, well, we dive deep to pull out the most interesting insights we can find, just for you.
And today we've got a really fascinating mix. It's quite a pairing.
It really is. We're looking at an astrological reading for a very specific day, May 22nd, 2025, from Tarot by High C.
Mm-hmm.
And we're putting that alongside a piece of speculative fiction called The Rose-Tinted Horizon.
Yeah, so a forecast for a future date and a story set even further in the future. It's an interesting setup.
Definitely. So our mission really is to explore the energies and the advice in that astrology.
Right.
And then see, what themes pop up, what parallels we find, maybe even some surprising connections when we look at it through the lens of this story.
Kind of looking for echoes, yeah,
Uh,
across
mm.
time and different kinds of writing.
Exactly. Okay, let's unpack this then.
Right. So let's start with the astrology. This is for May 22, 2025, from Tarot by High C, and you can find more at tarotbyhic.net. So they describe the overall energy, the big picture for the day, as pretty powerful, like a real push into unfamiliar territory.
Okay. Unfamiliar territory stands out, and they use that phrase, didn't they? Electrified intuition and creativity. That sounds dynamic.
Very much so. It suggests a day where, insights might just hit you, creative sparks could fly. They actually say to look out for stunning coincidences.
Wow.
Yeah, and real eureka moments, even potentially surreal encounters.
So not just a normal Tuesday then.
Apparently not. And it seems to call for being intentional, like naming what you want, really putting the effort in,
Uh-huh.
and importantly, making sure your actions are connected to sort of higher ideals. Purposeful action.
And it's not just about thoughts and ideas, is it? There's a strong feeling component too.
Absolutely. They talk about the walls around the heart softening up, making space for more intimacy, empathy.
Soulful exchanges, I think was the term.
Exactly, that kind of deep connection. And they specifically mention paying attention to dreams.
Ah, okay. For healing messages or maybe inspiring visions?
Precisely. So the core advice seems to be lead from the heart. Let courage be your guide.
Lead from the heart, courage is a compass.
Mm.
That feels like a solid anchor for a day with potentially unpredictable energy.
Yeah. And they break it down by time, too, which adds some layers. So in the morning, we've got a Pisces moon sextile Uranus. That suggests curiosity, maybe a bit of detachment, which sounds kind of freeing.
It does. But there's a catch, right? Something about illusions.
Yeah, a caution against illusions or escapism if
No.
you're not being discerning. But then also in the morning, the Pisces moon conjuncts Saturn.
Ah, Saturn, the reality check.
Kind of.
Yeah.
It brings a grounding feel. It's about clarifying where you need stronger boundaries, firmer
Mm.
commitments, like needing a solid container for all that Piscean flow and Uranian insight.
Okay, structure for the flow. Makes sense. Then what happens midday?
Midday, the moon moves into Aries, and it's conjunct Neptune and sextile the sun.
Aries, that's action, impulse. But with Neptune and the sun, more spiritual.
Exactly. The focus shifts strongly towards empathy, compassion, spirituality. The reading says this is a key time to act on, and I like this phrase, divine downloads.
Divine downloads. Okay.
Yeah, or hidden yearnings, acting on your most soulful truth.
So it's like brave, heart-led action, but guided by something deeper, maybe intuition or compassion.
That's a great way to put it. Aries courage meets Neptune's empathy. Then, in the afternoon, the Aries moon sextiles Pluto.
Ooh, Pluto, transformation, power.
Right. This aspect points towards unlocking untapped potential. It's framed as a chance to turn challenges into opportunities.
Shadow into light.
That's the idea. Giving that Aries action real transformative depth, confronting the tough stuff.
Okay, so that's the moon's journey through the day. What about other big aspects?
Two main ones highlighted. First, the sun sextile Neptune. This is where it gets, well, a bit magical.
Literally.
The source encourages leaning into the magical side of life. It actually suggests putting on rose-colored glasses.
Rose-colored glasses. Okay, hold that thought because that's going to be important later, isn't it?
It really is. This aspect is good for expressing understanding, forgiveness, especially with words. But again, a caution. Don't get too swept away by idealism. Keep your feet somewhat on the ground.
Right. Balance. And the other major aspect.
Venus trine Mars. This sounds like pure energetic fuel, really potent for starting creative projects or taking initiative in relationships.
Ah, so the courage to finally say something
Yeah.
or launch that thing you've been putting off.
Exactly that. It gives you that boost. And it's supposed to help with working well with others, too, balancing being assertive with being willing to compromise.
Sounds great, but there's always a but, isn't there?
There is, and it's a crucial one here. Do not mistake lust for love or confidence for clarity.
Oof. Oh, yeah, it's specific.
Very. And the guidance is crystal clear. Be bold, not messy. Authentic, not theatrical.
Be bold, not messy. Authentic, not theatrical. Wow. That's
Yeah.
quite a motto, especially for potent Venus-Mars energy.
It really grounds it, doesn't it? So if we sum up the astrology for May 22nd, 2025, it looks like a day for brave, heart-led moves, fueled by intuition, creativity, moments of deep connection possible, but needing practicality, discernment, yet still open to a bit of magic.
Okay, quite a complex picture.
Yeah.
Now let's completely shift gears. Let's jump into this story, the rose-tinted horizon. Set way in the future, year 2437.
Right, and the world is very different. It describes Earth as these unified biocities. Nature and tech are like seamlessly blended, harmonious.
And the cities themselves, they shimmer,
Yeah.
with colors reflecting the collective mood.
Yeah, like rose when people are yearning for deeper connection, which again feels significant given the title and the astrology we just talked about.
Definitely. The setting is a city called Lyriel, with an ascension forest, the verdant expanse. And there's this place, the luminous glade.
Where legends say visions and truths are revealed. Sounds very Neptune, very Pisces moon, maybe.
Could be. And our main character is Alira. She's an emissary for the Council of Inner Worlds.
Sounds important.
She carries something called a lumen heart, made from starlight and memory, already very mystical sounding.
Starlight and memory.
Wow. And get this. She wears rose-colored glasses. But they're not just fashion. They're tech. Neuralink tech.
Okay, so what do?
They let her literally see emotional currents as colors. Empathy, desire, hope. She perceives them visually.
So she's literally seeing the world through rose-tinted or maybe emotion-tinted glasses. That Sun-Neptune aspect made manifest.
Exactly. So the story starts with Alira in this luminous glade. The place is shimmering, iridescent, kind of reflecting her own mixed-up feelings.
And she's facing something big, right?
Two big things, two big pushes into that unfamiliar territory the astrology mentioned. First, personal. She needs to confess her feelings for someone named Taryn.
Okay.
He's a dream crafter, and he stirs something deep in her. The second push is professional, but it connects to those higher ideals.
Right.
She's leading a new council initiative, the Kinship Accord. It's an interstellar collaboration aiming for unity through creative expression.
Interstellar unity through creativity. That's ambitious. Very Venus-Mars in a collaborative, idealistic way, maybe.
Yeah, it feels like it. And as she's bracing herself, she leans on these mottos. One is, courage is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to step through it.
Lead from the heart, courage is your compass. Sounds familiar.
Doesn't it? And the other motto, described as her lifeline.
Let me guess.
Be bold, not messy. Authentic, not theatrical.
There it is. The exact Venus-Mars caution from the astrology reading.
Why? So she's in the glade. The forest is pulsing with color. The sky is alive with light. Taryn arrives. His aura is described as calm, midnight blue, warm amber.
Grounding colors.
And Alira takes the leap. The story says she speaks from the heart, stays steady even though she's churning inside. Her lumen heart flares up.
The starlight and memory device.
Showing shared moments with Taryn. And she names her desire. Explicitly. Just like the astrology advised.
What does she say?
She tells him how he affects her, how he moves something in her, and she says the Accord needs his voice, needs someone she trusts, cares for, beside her. Vulnerable but direct.
That takes courage. Venus-Mars boldness, maybe, but with heart.
Totally. And the world responds. The forest lights up with cascading color. Terrence smiles, reaches for the lumen heart.
Yeah.
And he says, I hoped you would say that.
Ah.
So it connects.
It connects. And the story wraps up saying that this moment of courage and clarity forges a new future, a new alliance, built on passion, yes, but passion tempered by wisdom and truth, reshaping worlds, potentially.
Okay. Wow. So bringing these two sources together,
Yeah.
the story and the astrology for May 22nd, 2025, the overlap is kind of stunning.
It really is. It's almost like the story is a perfect illustration of the day's potential energies. That whole big push into unfamiliar territory, that's Alira's entire situation. Confession, new interstellar project.
Huge leaps. And the electrified intuition and creativity, it's everywhere in the story's world. The color-shifting cities, the sentient forest, dream crafting, the Accord's creative focus, the lumen heart itself.
It's baked into the setting. And the rose-colored glasses advice from Sun Neptune. Alira's tech is literally that, letting her see these deeper, emotional, maybe magical currents.
It's uncanny. And her actions track so closely with the guidance. Naming what she wants, check. Putting in the effort, the emotional work, check. Aiming for a higher ideal with the accord, double check.
That softening of heart walls, the intimacy, the soulful exchange, that is the scene between Alira and Terran. It's the core of her personal breakthrough.
And the Venus-Mars energy, the passion, the courage to take initiative, that's what drives her to speak, to propose the alliance, leading from the heart, using courage as her compass. It's right there.
It really is. And having that specific Venus-Mars caution, be bold, not messy, authentic, not theatrical, as her actual lifeline motto in the story, that just locks it in. It shows how she navigates that powerful energy.
With intention, with truth, not performance.
Exactly. Even the Aries moon stuff seems to fit. Acting on hidden yearnings, her feelings for Terran. Tapping into untapped potential, the new alliance, the whole future vision. Turning the challenge of her fear into this huge opportunity.
Yeah, the way her personal courage links directly to this massive, collective, creative project, it really feels like it embodies that blend of energies described for the day. Personal bravery meets collective ideals.
It's like the fiction, written whenever it was written, somehow captures the highest potential, the most constructive expression of that specific astrological forecast for May 22nd, 2025.
Which leads to a pretty big question, doesn't it?
Yeah.
When we see this kind of resonance between symbolic energy patterns described in astrology and a narrative about choices, feelings, big moments, how much are our own stories, our own turning points, maybe playing out against a backdrop of larger energies or patterns that we might not even consciously perceive?
Are we sometimes acting out these larger themes without realizing it? It's definitely something to think about.
Something to think about as you navigate your own bold steps, your own moments of reaching out or stepping up.